Hi, this is Mark Spess from the StopMotionStore.com, and I just want to introduce myself a little bit. I have been working in animation for many years. In fact, I've worked on the Cartoon Network No Brainer Afternoon spots, and also the Henry Cycle spots in North Carolina, as well as some Latin American Warner Brother clay animation spots. Most of my training comes from particularly Webster Colcord, Mike McKinney, John Ashley, and other people that I've worked with who were at the famous Will Vinton Studios. Now, Will Vinton Studios created the California Raisins and the Domino's Pizza Noid and several, clay animation shorts that people remember being on TV as TV specials, like Meet the Raisins and Raisins Sold Out. And so this kind of knowledge is not well known, but since working in it in the late 90s and early 2000s, I wanted to share what I learned basically with everybody over the internet, let people know how this is done, and kind of keep the art alive. So who is this course for? Essentially, if you're into stop motion and you're wanting to know all the tricks in one place, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel, and you don't want to spend so much time screwing up like I did when I first learned. If you don't want to spend all your time doing that, it's a great way to go. You're going to learn just about everything that you can. Everything from mold making for puppets, everything from sculpting puppets, making sets, making armatures. The ebook that's included covers build-up techniques for puppets. There's making your own armatures, either ball and socket or lead and brass tube armatures. So really everything is covered. All the techniques are proven. They've been used in studios, and so essentially you're going to learn everything in one place. So to keep things convenient, I put the whole course on a bunch of discs. Now there are DVDs, and depending on where you live, if you live outside of the US and you use the PAL system, you'll get a PAL DVD essentially sent to you. There are also data discs, and on the data disc there are videos, and you'll need either a QuickTime player or Windows Media Player to watch them. And also on one disc we have Secrets of Clay Animation Revealed 3, which is a PDF ebook. So the first DVD on the course is how to make brass tube and lead wire armatures. And armatures are some of the most important parts of any stop motion puppet. So we talk about the techniques that have been created and invented from studios many years ago. And these are probably the best kind of armature for clay puppets. They don't have any memory in the wire. So these are really awesome to animate. They're really smooth, and there's no springiness with this kind of lead wire. But of course you can use aluminum wire as well. So it doesn't have to necessarily be lead wire, but it's a great disc for those wanting to know all the steps in making those from scratch. So the next DVD is how to sculpt puppets, and I've been sculpting for many years, and this is one of my first DVDs in the master course that I created. But the techniques that I used back then are still the same techniques I use today. And they're, basically if you want to learn how to use reference material and turn pictures and designs directly into a puppet, this is probably the best way to go about it. And of course, it's not just about sculpting, but I talk a lot about, sculpting for purposes of stop motion and what things to think about. So it's not simply sculpting, but really there's a lot more involved. So our 3 DVDs on animation, how to animate puppets, is updated just recently because of the technology that's come out in recent years. And so our first 2 DVDs cover some older equipment and techniques, and the third DVD is updated with newer software and cameras. But it teaches you basically how to use exposure sheets, how to do puppet walks, using tie downs, using different types of wood for set floors, things to think about, how to keep your clay puppets clean from dirt, how to ease in and ease out, how to make flying rigs. I also cover choosing microphones, audio recording programs, working with voice actors, breaking down voices and all the different programs, how to use Dragon Frame, Lip Sync Pro, Magpie, Stop Motion Pro, using 3D printable replacement faces, clay replacement mouths, and also basically some books out there you can use to help you along the way, motion control, animating your camera, all kinds of stuff on this DVD set. So if you want to learn how to build really good sets, our set building DVD set is made for people that want to learn how to do things like fill in tie-down holes where their puppets walk, how to remove set walls and replace them for shots where you can't reach your puppet from a really big set. We talk about chroma keying, blue screen, and green screen, and what kind of software I believe is used to remove that from your shots and replace with digital backgrounds. We also talk about the painting process, such as dry brushing, washes. We talk about different glues. We talk about different kinds of set floors and woods, which are best for animation purposes. So pretty much everything is talked about on this disc in terms of making sets and how to make them really well. So if you want to know specifically how to make clay replacement mouths in a really professional way, on our CDs, what we have is Creating Clay Replacement Mouths, which covers how to make the mouths, how to animate them, and sculpt them and mold them. We also have hair sculpting techniques, which is a more specific kind of thing, which is actually really hard for most people to grasp. So we made a separate video. And we also have how to make strong aluminum wire armatures. And so these kind of armatures are less expensive to build and quicker to make, and a lot of people enjoy them because if you want to just practice animation, these are the perfect kind of armatures that you can animate, and if they break, it doesn't matter so much. Also saves you a lot of money. So for smoothing clay, we have oil and polymer clay smoothing techniques, which is a video that just covers simply smoothing clay and different techniques on how to do it. And so if you want to have a really slick looking stop motion puppet, if it's got tool marks and is really scratchy looking, it's probably not going to be as nice to look at. So this specific video that we have covers all the techniques for just smoothing clay. So in Secrets of Clay Animation Revealed 3, we actually cover way more than what's on the DVDs. We also have interviews from Anthony Scott, who's a great animator, Jeremy Spake, who is an armature designer at Leica, Kathy Zung, who worked on Celebrity MTV's Deathmatch as a puppet maker, Justin Rash, who was an animator on Paranorman, Brad Schiff, who is a director of animation, really great guy, and at Leica as well. We also talk about finding sponsors for your film in this book. We have everything from the build-up process of making puppets. We have storyboards. We have surface gauges, video reference flying rigs, lighting your sets, light meters, hot spots, things like that. Effects such as water, fire, smoke, making the sky, recycling clay if you're into that, of course, which is really important because it saves you money. Just too much stuff to talk about. We also talk about opening hole ball joints, materials, brazing parts for your armatures, ball and socket parts, how to make lead and wire brass tube armatures like on the DVDs, but maybe some different techniques as well. Really just everything is covered, and I really believe this is the best course out there for the money, and you can pretty much learn it all in one spot. So if you have any questions about the course, just let me know. Just send me a message, or you can write me at mark@animateclay.com. And thanks for watching.